So it's about 7:39 in the morning. I've been up probably since about 6:30. And just wanted to check in with you guys here on Healing Care to give you a couple of insights. Over the past couple of days, I gave you guys a recent introductory on, why I came up with this particular channel to shed my emotions. So today I decided to give you guys, I guess, a little bit more in-depth description on why I'm in this particular place of healing in my life at this moment. Yesterday, actually, the other night, when I did the intro for you guys, it was kind of emotional because I was going through different things at the time, and I needed a fresh outlet to be able to express myself through. So, that video that particular night made sense. This here is going to be a part 2 introduction, because I still need to be able to explain to you guys why things are the way they are now and why it's necessary for me to go through this type of public display of healing. I'm usually a private person. I don't really share relationship information with the world like that, especially not when you're having issues and things that make you feel as if people may be judgmental against you. So, I don't put a whole lot of stuff about those aspects of my life on social media. And because my circles are small, not that I have no one to talk to, it's just that the people that I talk to have already heard these stories. They already know what I'm experiencing, and now it's just time to work my way through it. So it's easier to share it with this camera, with you guys, than to keep having the same repeated conversations with other people, because of course a lot of times they feel like you're still talking about it, which means you aren't over it, or you should stop talking about it so you can get over it. But people heal differently, and me personally, I have to get things out of my system. I have to speak my truth. I have to release my emotions of pain, bewilderment, or shame, or whatever the situation may be. So I am here on Healing Care because I experience pain, trauma from the hands of some people who should care more, should have loved me more. But, you can't make people do right by you, so you have to do right by yourself. And this person in particular, I spent 6 years with. He is the father of my youngest children. Some people may know exactly what I'm talking about. Others of you don't. And for the sake of his confidentiality, I won't bother putting his name out there, because this isn't for him. It's for me. 6 years is a long time to be with somebody. It's investments made, sacrifices made, promises made. Especially when there's children involved, it makes it harder when things aren't right between two people who's supposed to care about each other, you know. And in this relationship, it taught me so many different lessons about being willing to allow people to show you who they are and trust that that's exactly who they are. Understanding that you can't change everybody, no matter what you do. You can't force anybody to love you, no matter what you do. You can't force people to be good parents. You can't force people to be loyal. You can't force anything on someone that they don't want. But what you also can't do is allow people to take advantage of you, take advantage of your kindness, take advantage of your heart, take advantage of your love. The fact that they know that you are there for them, the fact that they know that you actually care about what happens to them. When you're around people who don't reciprocate that back and you're constantly doing the same thing, you're pretty much giving them the okay to use you, the okay to abuse you, the okay to not be okay. And, majority of the time we don't realize that that's what we're doing because you just assume that you're being a good person and you're being forgiving and you're doing the right things that you should do in a relationship because this is somebody you're supposed to be committed to, right? This is somebody that I'm supposed to be willing to work with. This is somebody that I'm supposed to be willing to compromise with. But to compromise with someone does not mean to compromise yourself. And I compromise myself a whole lot. Way more than I care to admit. It's actually quite embarrassing. Some of the compromises I made for someone that never even intended on loving me. Never. You with somebody for 6 years. I had 4 miscarriages, yo. 4 miscarriages. And then we give birth to 2 children after all of that. And somewhere along the road, I still became unworthy of the love that I deserved. Somewhere along the road, I was never considered a priority or someone of importance. Somewhere along the road, I was just left there. I was just abandoned. And because I allowed that type of shit so long, now I have 2 children with a man who doesn't even value them enough to commit to them. Doesn't even value them enough to make sure he's a part of their lives. Doesn't value them enough to choose them over his own desires and wants. Not needs, your wants. But I thank God. Don't get me twisted. I am not upset about the separation or anything. Everything is about how things are done, how you treat people, how you make people feel. It's not fair to come into people's lives and be so destructive and then feel as if you owe them nothing. You don't owe any explanation or just anything. An apology, anything to say, hey, I recognize you. I see how you feel, and I'm sorry you feel that way. And anything anything besides just constant disrespect, constant blatant disregard for me, for my life, for my heart, for my children. Abandonment has been a part of his own story, and he chooses to actually make it a part of his own children's story. Like, I don't understand. Most people who go through those situations with their own parents tend to turn out and be better parents, because I want to do for mine what nobody ever did for me. But every person isn't like that. Some people are literally just not parents. Some people just literally are only good for money. You're only good for what you can send, because at the end of the day, you can't commit to anything else besides the money. You have nothing else left to offer. And I just really need to get that off my chest, because I woke up highly emotional this morning, and it could be because it's so close to the holidays, and I got 2 small children with a father who doesn't even see it important to be with them on that holiday. It is more conducive to his own situation to benefit somebody else than to actually assist where he's truly needed. You get what I'm saying? Not needed, not wanted, needed. Your children need you. It's not just a want for them. They need it. They deserve it. Nobody should have to ask for that, because it should be automatic. But in this world, apparently today, love doesn't come automatically. Respect apparently isn't something that we just give to people either. Even when they deserve it, we only give what we feel like giving to those we choose to give it to. And I just can't continue, to live life under that type of chaos with no reciprocation. So, yeah, like I said, I'm just going through different emotions, and that's what this blog is all about, to get rid of the pain that I've received, past, present, so I can move on to my future. I want to be able to say that I've let go. I want to be able to say that speaking to him doesn't bother me, or seeing that text roll in doesn't bother me, or because it does. Not necessarily for me, but just for everything that I've been through. Like, I'm just so sick of having to deal with this person. I'm sick of it. I regret ever holding him so close to my heart, because what was the purpose? What was the reason? I was obviously never in his. And people would say, oh, he had to care a little bit. Y'all were together 6 years. Not really. Not for a narcissist. They use people for what they're good for, for how it benefits them, and then they'll shit on you and go about their business, but still keep you right within the bounds so they can pull you back in whenever they get a chance. So trust me, this has been the worst 6 years of my life, yo. I ain't even gonna say 6 years. Let's say 4. Because the first 2 were actually pretty good. You know how it is. You're getting to know people. You're having fun. So a lot of things you're blinded to. So even though he was still belittling me, cheating on me, abusing me in different aspects, real talk, I still didn't see it. Because in the beginning everything was so nice, and you know how you always can see the good at the root of people's hearts. So, I just thought maybe it was something that would change with time. You think that if I continue to love and love hard, that eventually they'll do the same to me. Boy, was I wrong, right? Boy, was I wrong. That's one thing they will do, is continue to do exactly what they do while you play the dummy. I know that now. So I no longer have the patience I used to. My freely loving heart can no longer freely love. Because now there's this wall that says that no matter what people say, you can't believe them. No matter if a person shows you love at one point, doesn't mean they love you. That's the negative connotation that's over my life right now, and that bothers me because I genuinely want to be happy. I genuinely want to be able to be the same person that I was for him, for a man that truly loves me. But how do I do that? How do I do that now? How do I truly, freely love someone and allow them to love me when I have experienced so much trauma that sometimes it's hard to love myself now? How do you do it? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to not beat myself up. I'm trying to still be a good mother, so regardless of what's going on, they won't know the difference because they're so young still. 2 years old and a 5-month-old, they don't have any clue. Even though my son definitely suffers from abandonment issues, which is what hurts me the most because this isn't the first time he's walked out, of my son, and his love isn't good enough for you to even stick around to do right for him. So sad, It is so fucking sad. And any man, any of you men, if you're watching it, if you're looking at this, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself for not having enough love in your heart for yourself to properly love an extension of yourself. Your children are extensions of yourself. No one should ever have to beg you or cry for you to understand how important it is to be a part of their lives. I don't want my children in broken families. I don't want my children living a stereotypical lifestyle where the only person they have to back them is their mother because their father is never around or because he's committed to a whole other situations that they're not included in. That is so hurtful. And the only good thing about them growing up young without their father is that it won't hurt as bad because out of sight is out of mind. If you've never really been around, then I'm not going to miss you when you're not around. That's the only real benefit to that. It makes it easier on their heart. But it doesn't mean it doesn't bother them. It doesn't mean it doesn't bother them. And I know that because I've already been through that type of situation with my first daughter's father. Pays child support religiously, but it has absolutely no relationship with her. Now, me and him, we were never together. It was just a friend thing. I was young. I was in New York, and it just kind of happened, So we had no relationship. So I didn't expect anything beyond taking care of his daughter. Did I expect him not to have a physical relationship? Not so much. I didn't think that would be the case because he was already a single father with his son at the time. So, you think that people understand the importance of being in children's lives. But people choose to do what they want to do. And I'm realizing now, what my mistakes are, the type of people I'm choosing. People who actually choose to abandon their children. You choose to walk away because you have the desire and wants that outweigh the need for your presence in your children's lives. But I'm not going to cry anymore. I just need to get that up off of me early. I just woke up a little bit emotional. Thanksgiving is next week. Christmas is in a month. And I don't even do holidays. None of this shit should matter to me, and it doesn't. But it does bother me that someone would rather spend those family moments somewhere else than with the people who should be the most important to them. So that's just my thoughts for today. I'm still in the process of healing, Kier. Still in the process of earning and learning to re-love myself. You know, giving myself back to me is a prize. Taking my own life back. Because I lost myself in this relationship. I lost myself. I lost the love for the things that I generally have so much passion for. Like, it's like the life has been sucked out of me, yo. And I was left with nothing but my children to show for it. Like, everything has been taken from me, you know? He abandons us and leaves us in homeless situations. He goes off and starts whole new relationships and pretends as if his children don't need regular assistance here. It just, I think it's just all shameful for any man to call himself a man and only do the bare minimum for his children. And that's just so you can't call him a deadbeat. That's just so you can't say he don't do nothing. But real effort, time, which by the way, folks, is the most important. Time. The thing you can't get back. Because we can get money back. We can go back to work. We can recoup finances. But I will never get back those 6 years that I spent loving, nurturing, forgiving, compromising, and fucking sacrificing. I ain't gonna never get that time back. The years that I lost with children as they grow, that time never comes back. So at the end of the day, time is way more valuable than money. When we're gone, we're gone. When we get old and wrinkled and can't care for ourselves, the time you spent with the people around you, the children, the folks who love you, is what's going to matter the most, because those are the people that you're going to hope are there for you when you cannot be there for yourself. You're going to hope that these children love you enough to be willing to sacrifice for you, to be willing to compromise for you. You're going to hope that they just don't leave you to rot and die. I don't have to worry about that, right? So, I'm getting my time. I have a relationship with my children. My children will definitely love me without incident, and they'll never be able to question my love, because they will always be evident. There'll be no one who can take me from them. There'll be no scenario that would keep me from being a part of their lives on a regular basis. On a regular basis. Not just when I feel like playing the role. Let's take a woosah. Sometimes I just have to give myself a moment to calm down. Bring my spirit back into alignment. And just refocus my emotions. So with that being said, I'm going to end this on a positive note. Your process of healing is for you. No one has to understand how you go about that, because no one can tell you how to feel or how to heal. You do what's necessary for you to get on and get by, you know. No, I'm not saying go out and key cars and put sugar in tanks and go fight people and all of that, because that's not a healing process. Those are more ways to damage yourself and others. So we're talking about healing. We're talking about whether you need to cry, if you need to scream, if you need to yell, if you need to be blunt, if you need to be angry. You do that. No one can tell you how to handle your pain or what you should feel or what you should do to maintain that. You do what you need to do to heal, because that's the only way that we can get better for ourselves and not repeat the same mistakes over and over again. And be able to give proper guidance to others who may experience similar things. We just have to refocus. So again, I bid you adieu. I love you and I thank you for listening. I appreciate you being a part of this vlog journey for me on an experience of healing K. Sometimes I may be a bit random because emotions can be random. The healing process can be random. One day we're fine, like I was yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty good. It was. I danced. People made me feel beautiful. It was a good day. And this morning, I was a bit emotional. So, here I am on Healing Kia with you guys, shedding that